We're going to do the hygienic testing for some colonies in the nuke yard. All right, the guys that were helping me today in the yard, and we're going to the colonies, and we begin to look for the colonies that have to be tested. When they bring a frame from that colony to be tested to the van, and once they come to the van, we take a tube of that we use here, and this is actually a tomato paste can. There are two different types on the market. One is a little bit larger than the other. We use the larger of the two, and that approximate be anywhere from 87 to 100 cells the way you want to set this in. This then will put into the brood to kill with nitrogen. A small amount of nitrogen puts in to seal it, and then you refill it either once or 3 times depending upon the wind. And the nitrogen will be put here because of the volatility of the nitrogen. We want to make sure they don't lose it because the wind will just blow it away.
This is a very healthy colony. You see they have a lot of buildup. And also, if you note the pattern, that's probably them uncapping, which is part of the reason why it's difficult to find a good spot. But you're allowed to have 5 empty cells in your test spot, and I think that spot right there is full enough to where we can use that as our test spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the bees and gently shake them off, not hit the frame, but I'm going to hit my hands. I'm going to hold the ears, and I'm just going to... That way, if the queen was on there, she doesn't go flying off into the field. We mark the frame with the number of the hive. So this is 1. So this one's ready to be tested. So yeah, this is an absolutely beautiful frame. Just perfect. So what we do is we take a can, and you want to make sure you're as level as physically possible. So you have it basically on the region. You want to double check to make sure you don't have any empty holes around your edge, because that can leak nitrogen. And then you just want to twist and push until you get down to basically you feel it bite into the midrib, which is the piece of wax that was originally put into the frame that the bees drew out. You want to take your laboratory nitrogen holder. You want to pour just about a shot's worth into the cup, and this forms a seal around the can and the wax. And once you get that done and that's all boiled off, then you want to fill the can up, and you can tell it's ready when you get frozen condensation on the outside. Steady hands. And you just want to look and check, make sure you're not leaking anything out around it. And that'll take about 5 minutes to freeze and unthaw, maybe 10. And one of the things you want to make absolutely certain that you've done is shield yourself from sunlight and wind, because those two will affect the thaw time and the rate at which the nitrogen evanescences. And basically it's just boiling away in there. It's about, I think, 250 degrees below zero, or is it 350 degrees below zero? It's one of the two. But it is cold stuff, and you do not want to get it on your hands. And now we leave that to thaw, and then 5-10 minutes we'll come back and put it back in the hive. What we've done here is we've frozen it once, and now we're going to freeze it again to make sure that we have 100% brood kill. Just let it cook. And now we're also going to shut the hood of the van. We'll come back in 24 hours once we put this back in the hive. And we will count the number of cells that they've cleaned out. And then subtract that from 100. And if they've cleaned out 100%, well, then she's 100% hygienic queen. Here it is 24 hours after we did the hygienic testing on these cells. And so what we're looking for is how many cells the bees cleaned out. And what we do is we take the number that they left and we subtract that from 100, because the size of the area that we survey is more or less 100 cells. So that gives us the percentage of the hygienic trait. Here is the colony that we tested yesterday. And you can tell this is the frame because we marked it with a push pin. And then we look for the indent of the can that we used to test. And the queen has removed all but 12 larvae or so. So this would make this queen 88% hygienic, since there are almost exactly 100 cells in there. And so this is a good queen. She's hygienic, but she is not queen mother material.
85% they are hygienic, but below that they're not. They have the tendency, but they're not 85% to 100%.
100% hygienic colonies, you'll actually see them clean them all out and then have repaired the wax and have laid eggs in them in one day.
We use queen mothers from the 100% colonies, period, that's it.